This
Yeah.
exchange.
So for school, I did an exchange and I went to New Zealand for 6 months. So
Say
I lived out
fucking
there.
word. So you've been to
Yeah,
Florida and you done been
yeah,
to New Zealand.
absolutely. I lived in New Zealand, fully lived in New Zealand. I left here. I didn't know a soul. I went there on exchange and just fucking lived
What
it up,
program are you?
man.
What program?
So I went to McGill and I was in the management, so business, and
Say fucking word.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I did the exchange over there, and that was just like I don't know if you know anything about New Zealand, man, but it's just the scenery and the mountains and the lakes and the it's just incredible. Like if you're a wildlife kind of person, you like the outdoors, like
Yeah.
so amazing. Like I'm like that. I love hiking, fishing, whatever you name it. I'm there. Like I love being in the outdoors. So just going there was such an amazing experience. It really was 110%.
Yo,
You
okay,
know,
like, what's it like? Like, okay, so what's it like living there? That's like different. Like, you gotta understand, people live vicariously through stories, right? That's how he is as people.
yes,
So like, I
absolutely.
never done live there. Like, I went to Pakistan for a month, so I understand the
Wow.
difference between living in a place versus it was for work. So it was like not as long
Okay.
as 6 months, but like living
Okay.
in a place versus visiting a place.
It's
So,
very
so
different.
I'm
Yeah, for
curious to
sure.
know a little bit about like what it's like to like live in there because you really live there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I fully live there 110%. Yeah, the biggest thing I find like okay, so we're both East Coast born and raised, right?
Yeah.
So the East Coast mentality is very sort of everybody's on a fucking schedule. They gotta go, It's like, okay, we gotta do this and this and this, blah, 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 blah. It's always packed in. Everybody's gotta do their thing, and everybody's rushing, rushing, rushing. And it's not like that over there. Over there, like everybody's, it's like lax and they're just going through life. They're enjoying it. They'll wake up early. They'll go for a hike. Then they'll go to work and this and that. And the culture is very much like I was saying. Like everybody's outdoorsy over there. And I find that just their way of life, their mantra is just very much more relaxed, much more humble and like just chill, man. Like just fucking easy going, and I really enjoyed that change in perspective. I think it sort of shed some light that my East Coast sort of view on the world was not the only thing that existed. So it was cool to see that sort of culture shift. Like that was the biggest thing for sure. And don't
Talk.
get me wrong, like these guys obviously like I was at the university over there, right? So obviously all the uni boys like they know how to party too, you know and these guys chug beers. Okay, when I say chug, they chug beers. Like it's messed up. It's messed up. I learned how to properly drink beer over there. Like before that, I would babysit, sit that drink, don't babysit. I would babysit. I would like barely sip over there. If you don't haven't finished your beer in like 2-3 minutes, they're looking at you like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? Like hurry the fuck up. So yeah,
That's
no, absolutely
incredible.
crazy. Hmm.
I don't know if I could survive that. I'm not good at drinking. Like,
But you get forced, man. You get fucking and people are shotgunning and like all kinds of nonsense.
that's
It's really,
serious.
really a vibe. Yeah.
Were you like
110%.
during your exchange? Did you get like to be involved in any like particular projects or anything like that?
Good question. I did a little bit because my concentration in management is entrepreneurship. So I joined. There was a entrepreneurship thing over there, like sort of a startup incubator, you can call it. And there were all kinds of little projects and stuff that were going on. And pardon me. So that was cool to see like that sort of scene bubbling up, which obviously has been started, in Silicon Valley and stuff like that, all the Y Combinator jazz and stuff like that being replicated in New Zealand was really cool to see, like sort of how they tried to bring that culture over there and like their spin on it, which is really interesting. So that was one thing, and the other thing was, of course, going on hikes, going on trips. Like there's groups, right, that would go, every other weekend. They say, okay, we're going to Rangitoto. Let's go. Let's climb the mountain, in the morning, and you just go and have a good time. Just fucking go on these mini trips. I remember we used to organize little trips. We would rent a. Oh my god, fuck! And they drive on the other side of the road over there, right?
Yeah,
So driving a car, I remember the first time driving a car on the opposite side of the road was absolutely crazy, but you sort of get the hang of it after a while. and that's it. We'd book trips out, go to all kinds of places, and just really get to experience the country, man. Like all that it has to offer.
Yo, what's the music scene like? Did you get to like pop in and go to a bunch of local shit?
So the music scene over there is it's not really defined. Like I would say there's the main pocket I would say that was really identifiable was so the natives over there, their name is Maori. So obviously they have their sort of cultural stuff, like that's the typical of like over there, but it's not bumping on the radio. Like what's bumping on the radio is what's bumping here. It's just like the common American culture that's sort of being replicated over there. But then you have like more recently some like more distinct identifiable sounds like what's that girl that had a really successful hit, oh man, I can't remember. And in the background she had all kinds of animals in the cover art. What was it? I'll have to find it for you. But she was from New Zealand, and she had a very identifiable hit that came out. It was on the radio and everything. And yeah, so and then obviously skipping over to Australia, you have the Kid Laroi, which is huge now. Like everybody bumps the Kid Laroi, so that's Australian influence, big time. So I think they're starting to find their sound. I think they're starting to really see. I don't know about New Zealand, but Australia,
Is
definitely
it
got
Lordy?
something going. I'd have to see, bro. I'd
I
have
hear you.
to I'd
I
have to
just
see the
like
artwork.
Googled New Zealand music stars to see what names popped up.
Yeah, yeah,
Is it
yeah.
Kimbra? Okay, I know what a
Oh,
Kimbra
oh,
is.
look up Lonely. Lonely is the name of the song.
All right,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
lonely.
yeah. Lonely, I believe. So that one I remember was popping off. I think it was like a summer or 2 summers ago, probably 2 summers ago,
This
honestly.
girl.
COVID's got me all messed up with the
Yeah, no,
time
I'm
delays and
failing
stuff.
at
It's
finding
fucked up.
this. Uh,
Yeah.
would
That's
you say
okay. Don't worry
COVID
about it.
has you messed up on time delays? Is what you just said?
Just yeah, 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 yeah. Just I mean, like I was saying, it's either a year ago or 2 years ago. Just because COVID's
Oh,
like
right.
it's such a the whole COVID year was just so strange the way it went down. It was
So
just
you were,
messed up.
uh, so you were there at what point? When did you go
I
there?
was there in 2018. 2018, I was there.
So then
So
you come.
January 2018 to like July 2018.
That's seriously cool though. So then you come back
Yeah.
here, and now you've already been to 3 countries or possibly more. Have you been to other countries at this point?
Well, in my trip, I went to New Zealand and Australia only, like on that side of the world. I had a couple friends who went to Bali and stuff like that, but I didn't end up going in the end. But Australia and New Zealand was definitely a vibe. Definitely amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, for sure.
That's super cool. I think there's a lot of power in traveling. That's why, like,
Oh, huge, huge. The amount of I'm a big fan of culture. I like seeing new cultures, absorbing and understanding, and like how like I can pick what I like about it and like integrate it into my life and stuff like that. I believe, and then traveling can just provide such an amazing experience, like just eye opening and really let you see the world through a different light. Like people sometimes think it's their way or nothing at all, but there's just so much the world has to offer, and like exploring it is a huge part, and growing self growth as well.
big facts. I would argue
Hmm.
traveling. It's almost like you can tell the difference a lot in people who have traveled or not, and
Yeah,
how they interpret and perceive other people.
absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Like,
You could definitely tell.